Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
They run again with Foreman. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Texans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on third down.
Green the line. Green the line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Texans send the punter out. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Now Austin. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 34. After the interception, here's Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Watson on 1st down. And now he'll tuck it and run. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Here's Watson, and Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
Richmond.
3rd and 2, Watson. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he will have the 1st before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Come back.
From the red zone now, Watson flushed out right. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Back now in Houston, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Green, the line. Tiger.
A shotgun snap for Watson. His throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Texans on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Move 80. Move 80.
Here we go, D.
Come back, come back.
Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
There you go.
Here's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Hey, move 80. Move 80.
They go play action here on 1st down. It'll buy some time right. He's got room to run past the 20. And they will finally get him down at the 28. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
eluding the pressure. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That goes for a gain of 31. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now a first down throw, Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Watson operating from the gun. And this is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Again, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And it's 2nd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Throwing again is Watson. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. Spins by. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. The first down carry by Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who
Yeah.
had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Operating from the gun, Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tyrone Crawford able to drop him for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long from Houston. EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, here's Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Gurley, of course, was right in the mix for a rushing title, but missed the final couple weeks of the year and ended up finishing 3rd with 1,251 yards, but did have a league-high 17 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, the first in Sean Alexander in 2003, 2004 to lead the NFL in total touchdowns 2 years running. How about 2 years in a row he doesn't get a chance to win a rushing title? This year because of injury, the year before because they rested him in the last game. And the first year he said, it doesn't matter much. This year he admitted he really wants to win one of those rushing titles.
And you know one surprising nugget is that he's the only guy to rush for 1,000 yards.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, 66 yards. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead.
And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Samson Abukum coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw on second is Watson. Now he'll go deep down the middle. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
On first down, it's Gurley. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. For Gurley, the end to his season, Charles, was interesting. The late season injury, everybody said, look, we swear he's 100%, but he didn't get the carries or production that he normally got.
I thought what was very strange about it was that it happened in the last 2 games. 5 touches in the NFC Championship game at New Orleans, then only 10 carries in the Super Bowl for 35 yards. But against Dallas in the divisional playoffs, he ran for 116 yards and looked like his old self. So unless there's an injury, they've got some explaining to do in Los Angeles about why.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks from 8 yards out. And the Rams add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Miller with first down and more. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Now Watson, going to throw again. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down, couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. To throw is Watson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Dante Fowler in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here's Goff now on second down. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
We're good. We're good. Inside. Like 20. Stews.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Super one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. 180.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. To go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Throwing on third. Goff. Buying time to his left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Black 99, feel it.
On first down, it's Watson. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
After the interception, here's Goff. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
On second down, here's Goff. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Goff. And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. In for the score. And the Rams add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Zerline out now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Come on. Red, black 22.
Here's Watson now on second down. Going deep for Hopkins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem.